We do. We got some juice. Alright. Let me move this stuff out of the way temporarily. Yeah. I'll throw it over here for now. Shut down the multimeter. That's not essential. Let's well, let's pull this back out for the time being. So this HP, the slow HP that we put RAM in, and it started acting a little better. However, I don't think the RAM, ooh, wow, we're really, is that not down mixed to mono? Let's do that quick. Sorry, I need to unhide some sources here to make sure they are indeed muted. Yes, it is. Okay, well, let's 77 desktop audio is fairly low. Okay. Well, hopefully we don't go too loud, being that it's down mixed to mono now. I don't know how that got changed. Anyhow, we can hide that one. Okay, the HP that we took input RAM in right here. I don't think the RAM actually helped anything. I think it just had more RAM, and having more RAM would let it run faster. Having more RAM in would let it run faster with the problem that it had. Currently, and I think we can we see it? Yeah, we can see it. We have the hard drive from that HP in the toaster here. We did a check disk on an external drive, and that's fairly simple. How would we do that? Let's pull up to YouTube. So just to do check disk on an external, we want CMD. I always run it as admin. I don't know that you need to. For some stuff you do, yes. But here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in, and hopefully not kill the stream, plug in a flash drive here quick. Is it going to read it? This PC. Let's see which one of these will disappear. Okay, so L. So basically, if you're going to do a scan disk on an external drive that's not your C drive, that would be, or check disk, sorry. Check disk space /F. You can do L colon, and that would do check disk on your external drive rather than your C drive, and it's going to fix. I think you could even do a /F/R. I'm not sure on that one. Anyhow, beside the point, we're not going to do that, so we'll go ahead and exit out of that and get back to here. So while the hard drive is over here, we did the check disk as an external, it passed. We have it doing an SFC scan now on the drive as an external. It says this may take some time. It hasn't even started and gave me a percentage yet. This thing is just spinning its wheels. So there may be a problem. It may be something with the hard drive. So we're going to move the HP out of the way, and we will continue with that. In the meantime, I have the controller that I used to like to use for playing some games, and I want to use it again. However, it's sat for well over a year. If you plug it into a power source into a computer, it will recognize it wired, if you plug it into a power source, such as a USB block, like you can see right here, it's plugged into this one, the USB power brick, it will not charge. The light will kind of just flash. Now there are some hokey methods online telling you to short out, I think, where's my paper clip here? If I can find this thing. Alright, well, I don't have a paper clip, so maybe we'll bend a new one. This has JB Weld on it, so it won't be as effective. We're not going to do it anyhow. But there are... Here, I'll have you guys stand just a little closer so you can see this better. Is that good? Alright. Yeah? Okay. And what they'll tell you to do is short pins 2 and 5 together. And what that is, in the paper clip will get hot. What that is, you're shorting the battery together. Now, it's been quite some time. We'll look this up to verify. Okay, so say we'll do a little representation of the pins on this battery. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think temp, VCC, we're going to have P minus, I think P plus, we're going to have SC, S clock, and SDA. I think that is your layout. And the exposure is whacked on this camera. Let's fix that so we don't have to keep swapping around cameras. Oh yeah, we got auto exposure on that. Let's drop it down one more. Too dark? Ah, you guys can see. Okay, so there will be your layout in that order of the pins. That would be your temp, P minus, S clock, SDA, P plus, VCC. I believe that is the order. Let's go ahead and look this up quick. Battery. And what do we even Google? Let me close this source. So we'll do... Oh, I'm not even Googling, people. Okay, battery. Pin out 360. Let's go here. Okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, there's the circuit board. The circuit board and this is a place I've visited before. This is quite an old post. Yeah, fuck, yeah, I remember this name here, this username. So there's your pinout. There is reference material online. I'm not the first person to do this. However, maybe you won't find everybody else's video. Maybe you'll see this one. So let's go ahead and get back to the objective at hand here. We'll close that. Now, like I was saying, people will tell you get a paper clip and short pins 2 and 5 together. Now if we look at this road map and we see on that our little map here that looks horrible. Okay, pins 2 and 5 is our positive and minus, our positive and negative for the voltage. So no wonder the paper clip's going to get hot. And then there's another method that people can use, and they tell you to short pins 1 and 5 and then 2 and 6. So essentially you would short 1 and 5 with a paper clip and then move over to 2 and 6. You would bend it to the right distance apart to short those. And what that does is, I believe, it's been a while since I've wanted to use this controller. I think what that does is it will tell the battery it's okay to charge again. maybe it bugs out and trips out the EEPROM on the circuit board, or I'm not quite sure of the terminology. I know it freaks it out and tells it it's okay to charge, which that's fine if it's a controller that is recently dead and you don't have too low of a voltage. So let's switch over here. Wow, that looks Alright, we're going to throw a marker or something under here to hold this up, so hopefully everybody can see. There, that should work a little better. Let's get, and I don't even know that we're going to have any voltage in this battery, maybe. Alright, we'll hook up there, hook up to our common communication, whatever you want to call it, and we are checking, are we checking AC or DC? DC, I think. Oh, so let's just go to pins 2 and 5 and see if we get anything. So we're going to get 0, no matter where we would go on there. Oh, what is it? So what, they're flip-flops? We were touching temp and VCC there. Okay, so we're literally, this battery's dead. We're gonna have to look at some ratings now. It doesn't actually say on this, but I believe these are two either nickel cadmium. Wow, that's really dark. That looks horrible. Alright. Clearly, there's just no clear answer for, you know what, we're not going to adjust the exposure. We're going to turn the gain up a little bit. How's that? Is that doable? We're not going to be reading fine stuff. Maybe. Maybe. Alright. So, I think 1 point whatever, 1.2, 1.3, 2.1 would be low, 2.5 would be ideal. We don't want much higher than 2.5. So basically what we've got in there is two AA batteries is what's in there, because if you've ever had the stock battery pack that comes with the 360 controller, it is indeed. You literally slide 2 batteries in. So let's take the voltage of one of these, 1.5 and 1.5, so we want around 3 volts. So 2.5 would be considered like low, in the mid-ground to low. 3 volts would be right tip-top if they were charged, ready to burst. And we've got 0 volts. So we're gonna, and what we're gonna use to try and get some kind of voltage, let's put this one up. Hopefully it don't freeze. I always have troubles with my GoPro freezing when trying to show anybody anything. So we need to get this battery pack up to a base voltage. You can also do a similar thing to revive a battery, like an RC battery. So I don't know what the base voltage of this is. Let's turn it on and check it while we're here. So we have a 4 cell, should be 14.8 volts if it was charged. Wow, well, that glare just comes in right at the perfect spot where you can see nothing. What about that? Yeah, we can kind of see there, huh, people? Better than none. Okay, so let's go ahead and throw that in. Okay, so we have 15.4, 14.8. So this battery has some charge. It's maintained charge sitting. However, I charged this not long ago. There's a similar method. I'll cover that another day for reviving these. lithium polymer batteries. So I don't have an adjustable power supply like one with a knob or a dial or soft touch buttons that you could take and jump the voltage up and then increase the amps. What I do have is my RC charger and some old test leads from a multimeter. So what we're going to do with these, we are going to go ahead and do a continuity check from end to end to make sure we don't have a broken wire anywhere. Alright, so 1 good, 2 good. If you're trying to charge a broken wire, because you're, excuse me. Okay, so there is that. We're going to take our test leads for our old multimeter, which use banana plugs, the same as most RC chargers, and we're going to plug in. We're going to be real careful not to let these short together. Now we know that we are charging, these are what, nickel cadmium, nickel alkaline, NiCad, so nickel cadmium batteries. Basically, looking at our charger, we can do nickel metal hydride, nickel cadmium, NiCad, lead battery, LiPos. So we'll go to NiCads. Hit start. Manual current 3 amps. We don't want to do 3 amps. We're going to go with a lower amperage. We're going to start out at a low amp. We'll try 1 amp to see if we can get some voltage into this. Like a charge, discharge, cycle, charge, current. We want to do 1 or 1.5. We'll start off with 1. Okay, and we want to look at our map so we get the leads in the right spot. We're going to want to touch our black to, our black lead is going to go to P minus, so pin 5, and then our positive to pin 2, which is P plus. P minus, P plus. That's where we're going to attach our leads to, but so we don't have to stand here and hold. Hopefully don't have to hold both of them. We will go with another plan temporarily. People, I may have to make a phone call quick. If I do, I will be right back momentarily. Not as bad as it sounds. Boy, I really don't want to take any of those off. And we can't do it with that one. Alright, so I will be able to have one of the leads be held. Not both. Unless maybe we can clamp him in there. If we can clamp him in there, that will work out in our favor. I'm going to go ahead and we are going to get our set of helping hands here. And take our magnifying glass off. Spin a wing nut back on. We just don't need a magnifying glass for this job. So we're going to get our helping hands. We don't need this to charge real long, just to get a little bit in, but if we're going at 1 amp, it's going to take longer. I don't remember the voltages I used last time, so, and we're doing this on the fly, so we will check that out and see what's going to happen. Alright, so we've got, ooh, we could put another clamp right in that end. And we could also put one here if we had one. Let's go the opposite way. Spread that a little, get it in there, and start clamping this down. I think right there should do it. Ha! My phone's a ringing. Okay, give me a moment, people. 2 phone calls done, out of the way. I like it. Oh boy. Let's boy. I cannot stress keyboards, man. Keyboard's an important part if you're going to be a computer user. And if you are going to be a computer user, get a good keyboard. Don't get the spongy, soft, rubbery membrane type. Get one of the, oh, what do I want to call them? Mechanical. Mechanical is the proper word. Get a mechanical keyboard. Alright, we're going to get to charging this. Sorry about the interruption. I don't always want to leave the conversation on, as with some people. Some people I can ask. Other people, no sense in even asking. But we got that there. I got an invoice here. I will have to refigure that once they get here. But till then, let's continue with this battery. Okay, and we have 1 test lead. Let's try and get 2. This one should be a little easier. We're just going to clamp him in, so it should be somewhat adjustable, I would hope. And we'll get those out of the way. Alright, now let's look at our map again to verify. And that is your reference point, how you would look at it. So pin 2 would be positive, pin 5. So we want positive this way, negative that way. We're going to charge at 1 amp for now. And so I don't have to stand here and hold these. We can put some down pressure on them, hopefully. And they won't arc out. Or maybe I will arc them out. Who knows? I'm good at making sparks. What do we have to use the weight of? Our 360 controller? Will it do some weighting? Let's go ahead and hold start. Okay, so it's going to charge at 1.0 amps to try and get some type of voltage in there. That may be a high charge. I don't want to do it for real long. We're going to go for a few seconds. I don't know. Yeah, you really can't read the readout on that. Okay, so we're getting up to, we're going to hit stop on it and do a test. Let's try and pick this up so our stuff doesn't move very far. Let's do a test with our multimeter. We're going to go back up 2 volts voltage and see what is our little battery going to read out. Did we get anything into it? A base charge. So we're up to 2.2, 2.21, 2.2, and it's probably going to drop pretty quick because this thing has not been charged in a long time. Every time I was here talking far away, like people talking, I think it's like, what it reminds me of is when I'm listening to a podcast and I take my headphones out but they're hanging around my neck. I can still hear people talking, but it sounds like they're far away. Yeah, I always think that I left a podcast playing, but no, it's indeed me being crazy and people off in the distance. Okay, so 2.13 and dropping quickly. Enough to get it to charge in the controller yet? I don't think. I'm pretty sure we want to get up to around 2.5 maybe. Or maybe it will light up. Let's check. Not off that power brick, it's not going to charge. Yeah, dead. Okay. Alright, so it will get power to the controller and power it, but it's not going to charge our battery yet. Let's try a different port. I don't know, maybe that was too high. Nope, nothing yet. Okay, so let's go back over. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to charge a little higher though. We'll hit start. We are going to go at what are the batteries? What are the batteries? 1.5 volts double A. So that's 1.5 volts. We'll do 1.5 amps. Let's get our battery back under our pins. Oh, there we go. Gotta love these chargers. It'll even tell you when you got reverse polarity. Gotta love it. Get in there. We're going to go ahead, hold our start button, do the battery check, get a charge in. Again, I don't want to do this for real long. I don't want to blow this battery up, short the circuit board out, do anything of the sort. This isn't something where you're going to charge it overnight. Basically, you want to get a base charge into it up to a level where it will start charging on its own. And a similar method with lithium polymer batteries. If we release the magic smoke ghost on this battery pack, so be it. It's fairly old, but hey, I figured why not give it a shot. We'll see if we can still try and charge it. And that's about 47, 48, 49, 50 seconds. We'll go ahead and hit stop. And lift this up and check our voltage again on our multimeter. Pin 2 and 5. Alright, 2.73. 2.73. Is it high enough to let this thing do what it needs to do yet? I doubt it. But we'll try it. We may have to end up plugging into a PC and installing the plan, or oh, what is that called? Let's go into Device Manager and take a look. Oh, I don't know. Whew, I almost closed out OBS. That would not be good. Okay, we're gonna go in and go to Device Manager. Unknown device, would that be this? Let's update the driver, browse, let me pick. All the way at the bottom you'll find Xbox 360 peripherals. Next we want the controller via plan charge kit. Let's go ahead and hit next. Alright, before we actually install it and crash the whole system, which you should be worried at that point, if we unplug, what happens? Does that device go away? It does indeed. I feel pretty confident installing that driver. Hey, You haven't won any prizes yet, man. You will someday. Yeah, Jeff's on his way up.
Okay, here. That's that book you like to look at.
What book? Oh, is that the big book? My U-line. I don't like looking at these. I like looking at my catalogs, man.
Oh,
you crazy guy. Okay, so there my drivers did not install. However, we have a light that resembles. I'm going to go ahead and hit close. I don't know if we can get this on camera, but I do indeed have it up like it's trying to charge the controller. So, not only that, if we flip over here, you can see Xbox 360 wireless controller via Play and Charge kit, where we could not get it to charge. We could not get this to charge. I hope you can see that green light. And let's go to the... I know y'all can see that light, right? No, probably not. Nah, not really. It's too bright here. I promise there is light on now. There we go. Now you can almost see it. It's just off center. It is there. Anyhow, that is that. I can't believe that actually worked. I think I remember it working in the past when I did it, but I did it with what do I want to call it? A very, very cheap adjustable power supply. Basically, it was like a little, you know, think of the one of the boxy hot air stations or solder station. I have ours over here. Similar thing, but it has a dial on the front. You can adjust your amps and your voltage. So it's a, what do they call it? A variable DC power supply. We're going to go ahead and let this charge now that the light is lit on here and see if it's going to act normal and be able to use it again, hopefully. I mean, I could get it to play with just the wire plugged in, with just the wire running to the computer, but that wasn't the goal. I wanted the wireless, and I do have the wireless dongle that goes. So let's do a check on our HP hard drive, and I think that's where we're going to call it for today. Okay, so let me find the right camera this time. Over here, we'll read this out. Anybody that's done an SFC scan now, you know what this means. Windows Resource Protection did not find any integrity violations. Apparently the hard drive is good. We're going to go ahead and put it back into the Frankenstein computer. And continue cleaning up. You gonna be here? You gonna be here, Dad?
What?
You gonna be hanging out?
For what?
Cause Jeff's coming.
I've got another appointment. I'm working.
Yeah, can't talk like that, man. Gotta be family friendly. We're on the internet.
Oh, I know that, but I got another one out there.
Oh, I know that. But you can't
Do that, then I gotta go.
can't be swearing.
Oh, sorry. I'm not used to that.
I know. Family friendly, man. We gotta appeal to the masses. What if you offend some parakeet? What if you offend somebody's parakeet or a parrot, a pigeon, their ferret, a turtle? There's some turtle in California that took offense to that swear word, I'm telling you.
Think it was a turtle?
I did. Maybe it's a prairie dog? I don't know. I don't know who's got what out there. I don't have those statistics.
I'm down in the trucking place there and checked it out. That thing sounds like it's gonna blow up. It's an all-in-one.
Oh yeah?
Do they make an all-in-one with the board in the base of it with the USBs coming out and all that? Because it is hot.
No, it's the all-in-one. Yeah, they do. They have the screen and then everything else is in the bottom. Yeah, there's a couple of them designed like that, and it's.
This must be one of them. I will tell you, dude, it is so hot. You gotta turn this thing off and get it in there. It's not gonna last much longer. You can hear the fan in there just grinding away.
Just whining. It's ready to cough out some dust and die.
I put my hand on her. I couldn't even hold my hand on her.
Yeah, if you here, well, I'll throw that out. Here's your PSA, your public service announcement for the day. If your computer is hot at any spot on it to the point where you cannot hold your hand on it, there's probably something going wrong with it.
Yeah, turn it down.
I mean, not always, okay. If you're there trying to go for the new overclocking record, I can understand it might get a little warm. But yeah, in normal day-to-day use, if it's that hot, you got something going on. Safe to say. Alright, well, thank you people for joining me. That was a very short open hours today. I may do another after hours tonight, doing some gaming.
After he kicks me out?
Well, no, I'm not doing that here. I'll be doing that at home. A very good use of your test leads if you want to get into tinkering and fixing, messing, you know, with computers, electronics in general. You won't find a lot of uses for them, but you will find some uses. Go ahead and buy an RC charger. I mean, get yourself a variable DC power supply. But one of these, and this is not an original, this is a clone of the IMAX B6 power charger for computers.
You talk like that.
No, you can talk, man.
Look.
Just can't shout at me.
Huh?
No, I'm kidding.
Does that make it better?
Well, anything has their name on there, but
Yeah, it's always better with names on.
how you doing today, Jeffrey?
I'm doing good. Just real busy at the house.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to be at my house being busy, but
Here,
I gotta get take care of everybody else.
a little bit stiffer. Don't extend it all the way though.
There you go.
You really want the goods? Check this guy out. He's got a round handle. You'll knock the keys out with that one.
Hey.
That's my super broom.
But how much are you?
$1
$1 million.
This thing, man, they really got cheap, didn't they?
Yeah.
Keyboard.
Well,
$40
if you want to spend, you know, like 40, 50, I think 50 is the cheapest you're going to get one for. You can get a mechanical keyboard. And what it is, instead of...
over here. It's 147.
His slip is right here. You got to add the price of the keyboard to it. I did not do that.
158.40. Hey, want a pen?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Top notch places. 158.40.
Yep.
What's the date today?
Today is the
4th.
Charging controller. I dig it.
D&T rate. You don't have a stamp there.
Now, can you turn them on and play while it charges? I think you should be able to.
158.40.
Is that going to take a whole nother driver?
Yeah, my mom called me at about 9:30 this morning. I just put one of them, those little inserts in her faucet in the bathroom and stuff. And you know that the hot water doesn't work. And all it is an insert and you win one. So I have no idea about nothing. Figure it out. You know? That's the weirdest thing around here.
Yeah.
I do all kinds of weird stuff.
Well, as soon as I got laid off, I could get all the shit done around the house. I couldn't get done, and then with this
So we got it via plan charge kit.
and so now I
Update driver.
give me
Let me pick.
I just have to find it.
Next.
I'll see you later, bud.
Alright,
I hope this is it, man.
if it ain't, you call me. I'll come down here.
I'll be calling you.
And we'll drink a couple, beers and coffee. See you, Jeff. Yeah, he thinks we're crazy, man.
And that's alright. People are entitled to think that. Alright.
People probably should think that.
Successfully updated our drivers. Alright. So that's installed. Back to the point I was saying. Go ahead and these are cheap online. Woo, if I don't drop it and break it. They're cheap online. You can get yourself one. So aside from being able to charge lithium polymer, lithium ion, lithium phosphate, and I think those are life batteries. What else is there? I can't remember the other ones. Nickel cadmium, nickel metal hydride, lead acid batteries. You can charge them, discharge them, you know, to put the batteries in storage. Balance charge some of them that have balance leads, like for RC batteries. So if you get into working on, you know, working on a drone or something for a friend, or that your friend has a battery that won't charge, you go ahead and, you know, chances are they may know how to revive one. Or you could, you know, teach them something, show them how to revive that battery safely if you get into doing that. So,
Keep the light on for me out there.
essential for electronics?
Okay.
No. Handy to have? Yes, very. It's an IMAX B6 AC is the version. They have a newer version of this. You can't actually buy this one anymore, I don't think, unless you buy it secondhand or used. But they have a new one. It's got a USB port on it. You have a spot to plug in, like the connections that servos use. You can plug something in there. You can actually plug in to this DC jack and then run out to a 12-volt car battery. So you could have this out in the field with you, charging batteries using your car battery. So yeah, good thing. You want to have your car running while you're doing that though. Here and there, you don't want to take your voltage down too low on your car battery. Yeah, that's just another handy thing to have when working on this crap. We are...
I'm gonna head out to that.
You going to your other appointment?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm working on this HP and I'm gonna get this rolling here. Probably when I get back. I gotta go somewhere with the wife for a little bit.
Okay.
But we'll get this. And he just wants a base 10.
Base 10.
Alright, we'll see what we can do.
Alright, brother. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, have a good evening. Alright, we are going to get back to Frankenstein. I don't know what we're going to accomplish though. It is late in the day. Let me close this stuff over here. I've got updated drivers. No, I do not want to restart my computer now, even though you want me to, Windows. All for a controller. It has to be because it was your hardware that I installed a driver for. That's why you want me to restart, honestly, isn't it? It's okay, you can admit that. Another thing, if you do get an RC charger, like I said, hold on to your old test leads from old multimeters. If you don't go out and buy a halfway decent one that has diode mode and, you know, continuity with a beep, you know, so most have continuity. The cheaper ones usually don't have a beep that come on them. One of the old analog ones, it's just a meter that bounces, which I think, is that what this is? No, that one's digital. We have one here that takes a fuse, and it's literally like a needle that bounces. If you have one of those that you're not using, or it broke, you blew the fuse, short, anything, if it's ruined, go ahead and save your test leads, because they will plug in. So now you can charge whatever you can make contact with if you know how to charge it. So hopefully this is up to a base voltage where it's going to charge. I'll test that out later, maybe put some results, I don't know. Where? Do an update video? No, probably not worth it, but I'm going to get back to the Frankenstein computer for a little bit while I still have some time here today. We've got a few minutes. I think we'll reassemble it part way to see what we can accomplish for the present time. throw this out quick for everybody. Here's the box. That's undoubtedly what the charger looks like when it is a lot newer than mine currently is. I've charged quite a few batteries for planes on that. A few for cars. Oh, that's the boss calling. Say hi, internet. The boss is calling. Yeah, boss. And that was the boss. I'm gonna wrap this, like I said, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna throw the hard drive back in this, get it booted up, see what the status is, and then take off for the day. If you want to hang out, cool. I thank you. Whoever is a link clicker out there and came on over, thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it. Coming in, getting your hands dirty, not getting in the way. Always welcome. Always welcome. Oh, here's that thing. I don't think I had a real good representation of it. My answer for if I ever want a dash cam, ever want my camera to go on the dash and have it easily adjustable to a different angle. This is an old TomTom thing. I did get it together. I think I talked about it before I had a bolt, or I can also, you know, take it off there quickly if I want to get some more of these and make more plates that have the Arca mount on the top. So, yeah, I think I did, maybe I did talk about it and I just don't remember that I talked about it. You can even lock it so it doesn't turn. It won't turn. You unlock it. If you hold the thing, it doesn't do the ratcheting. Yeah, pretty cool. Not a real high profile, whereas if you, and a little more secure than just throwing a camera on your dash, where it's literally every time you turn it's going to start sliding. So a little more secure. Alright, let's see what we can do for these last couple minutes today. Go ahead and get that out of the way. Let's throw this hard drive back in. And we need some type of mouse pad for protection, even if it's just one. Keep stuff from getting too scratched up. You know what? We're skipping part here. I do believe yes. Let's detach the keyboard and the other ribbon cables first. Alright. The original RAM is back in this. I'm going to go ahead and put the hard drive in. We need, what, 2 screws to mount that down, and then possibly motherboard, not essential. Daughter board, we're going to go ahead and put 1 screw in it as well. just for the next time we tear it apart, we don't want our hard drive bouncing around if it indeed does. Don't want it surprising us trying to jump out of the computer and bounce. That's not good. Not good. It makes your computer very sad when your hard drive falls out and bounces across the floor. I think these would be, yes, these would be all of them. There's 2 screws for the motherboard. Let me count these arrows quick. 1 and 2. And then 1 silver screw for the Wi-Fi card here. So that's the rest of our motherboard screws. There, we'll leave that there. Do a quick reassembly. We're going to get this thing booted up with the original RAM and see if it's still slow and unresponsive. Do a quick snap together. Grab a set of tweezers. Alright, 1 is in, and one is in, 2 is in. We'll go for the keyboard and get power to it. We're not going to have any Wi-Fi we can plug in over Ethernet. See, here's something to be said right here over having like a tool, a USB that you can plug in, or if a desktop using like a PCI or a PCI Express card, something that diagnoses your hardware for you. There's something to be said about that kind of technology. Yes, while it is nice, it can also be wrong, as I talked about in, I think, last week's live stream, where I had a computer that it would turn on and everything passed, everything, check marks all the way. It was good, 100% good hardware. And then you would reboot and the computer would just not start up. And let it cool down, take the battery out, it would start up first try. Reboot, even after the first boot, a few seconds, restart, would not come back on. So definitely failed hardware. But the diagnostic utility was saying that it was fine, and this was an external one, not built into the BIOS or on a partition on the hard drive. This was actually a USB that you plugged in and it tested the hardware, and it called it passed, but it was actually failed hardware. So there's good and bad points to both of that. If you're always using that and don't know how to diagnose bad hardware without that, where are you going to be at if that breaks? Or what if that, what if that gets outdated and you got to get a new one, but you can't afford a new one or whatever? They didn't make a new one, using something outdated. I don't know. Name your situation. If you can't diagnose the hardware without that, then is it really, I mean, yes, they're useful, they're nice, but they can also be wrong. I kind of like the manual approach to it, like figure it out. It's getting crazy here, people. I lost a power supply for, oh, nope, right here. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. Don't pull a nick, boys and girls. You don't want snake bites, do you? I don't think so. Alright, we will go ahead, get this here. We're going to get it powered up. Let's get some Ethernet for our computer, since the Wi-Fi is not currently connected. And turn on, if you will. You're going to go. Alright, I hear a hard drive. And we're on. Let's go ahead and get the repair plugged in. Alright, you dropped off, people. Did I end the stream? No. Did OBS quit? No. Let's refresh that and see if the stream is indeed still going. Stream health. Yeah, it's still going. Okay. Let's pull up our repair interface and see. Repair only. Whoo, it's coming up. Okay, I like it. We'll put me on here. No. Oh, look at that. That looks horrible. You got that light bleeding in. And it will make it not as bad. Look at that scaled down screen. That looks funny. You got the black border around it. It should go up to a normal resolution soon enough once it gets into Windows. Or maybe not. Let's check our OBS source. Custom 1920 by 1080, yet it is not filling the screen. Let's try it now that it's in Windows. We'll pull the source from OBS and plug it back in. We can get a mini window or a full. Yeah, we're getting a mini. Okay. Control Shift Escape all at the same time, and you can see the slowness I'm talking about. I already hit that key combination and we're still waiting. Still waiting on Task Manager to show its face. And there it is. I didn't say one thing. We have a very noisy hard drive. Let's look at the performance quick here. Now the hard drive is pegged up at 100. Is it aging? Does it have that much going on? Would a back up their data and reload fix this situation and cost us any more time of being invested into it? These are all things you got to weigh out. How much time do you want to waste on diagnosing it without plugging hardware into it that will tell you if is the hard drive failing, the RAM failing, the motherboard bad, the CD-ROM sketchy and causing you lags while you're trying to run the operating system. We can see the CPU in this case is not up at 100. The RAM is not being sucked up by anything. There's not much in it. But what is there? It's not, 1.5. We're not even at half yet. 36%. Disk, 98%. We're going to see if that drops. We're going to have everything that loads at startup with Windows time to load and come down. And if the disk stays up at 100, I'm guessing, and we're not even starting up that much. Let's see what processes there are. And there's no, so far in the list, there's no obscenely large percentages being used by anything. UTC service. Okay, so that there is something related to the storage on the computer, which would be the hard drive. It's using quite a bit. And it's probably going to jump up and down. These are not surefire ways to diagnose. These are just more or less, let's manually look, use logic and our brains to figure out what is wrong with this thing. This is for your average person that doesn't do this, that maybe wants to try with their computer if it's messed up a little bit, or whatever. Name your situation. You want to try and fix yours, you're fixing friends. No really high percentages the whole way through. We have a high percentage on the one related to storage, and then also on the performance tab our hard drive is staying up at around 100. The CPU and memory is not up, and there's not a lot in startup. Remember, with this one currently, we have already done, what did we do? We did a Malwarebytes and Defender scan on it. We did one with the drive not booted into Windows on an external computer. Malwarebytes and Defender. Right now I'm going to try and plug in a USB and fire up an ADW cleaner scan to see what happens there. And a number of other antivirus and cleanup utilities have been ran, and it still is fairly non-responsive to it. Hard drive, maybe. Windows just really out of whack, could be that. Alright, let's find ADW. We're going to run as admin on here. And I think we'll leave it there for the day. Just tell me, little computer, what happened to you? Who did it? Was it the internet? Was it your owner? Who did what? And do you know why? Tell me why they did it. You don't know? We're going to cancel that download and just get the scan rolling. Is it actually going to scan without downloading a new one? There we go. Okay, so here's our ADW scan running. Let me flip over to that for everybody. Going to find anything? Probably not. Maybe we need a new version. We'll find a couple. Or a lot. Who knows? This is the one I have. Yes. So, no threats were detected. We're going to skip the basic repair. Taskbar settings. Font themes, lock screen. Boy, what setting did I don't want a setting. We want access to... there we go. Let's go see what driver is out of place right now. Trusted execution engine interface. Bad driver or something to do with malware, virus, whatever, Trojan Windows. I don't know. We're not going to dig into it tonight. I'm going to save that one. We will dig further into that tomorrow. Thank you for joining me, getting your hands a little bit dirty. We will check back in also and see if our Xbox controller does indeed get a charge. Hopefully it does. I hope we got that fixed. If not, we'll do it over again. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Check out the website dtcomputers.online or antisocialexperience.com. The podcast, if you haven't checked it out, think about checking that out. Subscribe on YouTube, like us on Facebook. You can find us mostly on Facebook. The podcast has a YouTube channel, and I also host the podcast stuff on my YouTube channel. Again, thanks for clicking that link and coming and getting your hands dirty. Hopefully we'll fix this tomorrow. We're going to get this started later. I don't know if I'm going to do that during a stream tonight. Thank you, and I will see you soon, everyone.